Hey guys, this is day 4 of the series from Vlogs from the Bower from CloudCatcher Witch Camp 2017. So this is the wrap-up video. I'm pretty much just going to talk about how the whole everything went at camp, and then how to kind of help connect and facilitate that space in community outside of camp. So Joe and I can speak for myself, but I had an amazing experience co-priestessing the Bower this year with Joe. I feel like it was held really well and solidly. The Naked Path that was held by Jane Meredith and Jess Streamer went incredibly well within there. Having that space available for them was so great, and they spoke to us about having that available was wonderful, and I could tell from people that had taken that path that it was just really incredible for them to have that kind of beautiful, luscious space for them to work within. And just people who attended camp had such praise and wonder for the Bower, and I was so overjoyed with that. And I got to spend a few times in there just kind of presenting optional offerings, but also just having some real intimate chats with friends and just hanging out in there, and just knowing that space was there was awesome, and how much has grown and developed since the first, since would have been 2013? Freya and the Brisingamen camp, when we first had a Bower in the horrible little room at camp, where now it's become this beautiful whole decadent temple that's there. It was incredible, is all I have to say. It was amazing being the priestess holding that space, and one of the priestess holding that space, but being a priestess holding that space and having that journey and having that exploration and being able to really anchor that space for community so that community could do what they like with it. And yeah, so we did have more optional offerings. So a community member ran a beautiful sexual exploration offering as well, and I didn't get to attend, but I could hear the wonderful time that everyone was having from where it was, so that was amazing to hear. And then I also believe that there was a photography portrait piece that was taken in there, so I hope that there's some wonderful shots people got of themselves in that space. But yeah, now it's all over. So camp is finished. On the last day of camp, we had a brief but very succinct wrap-up, farewell, folding the space all back into the Bower Guild, not the Bower Guild, but the Bower Priestess girdle, and passing it on to, I believe it's traveling next to California Witch Camp. So Joe and I facilitated that, and it was just really beautiful. We had, I think, 3 or 4 community members that just could take the time out of their day to come help farewell the allies we called in. And in that process, I invited them to just think of a beautiful memory that they had at some point during the Bower of the camp. And once they'd thought of it, just shaping it and turning it into a thread that they could weave into the girdle and send it off to the next camp. So when it is presented to be a tool and an ally in their Bower work, that those stories and memories can be taken out and shared and help facilitate the next Bower that it visits. So that was it, really. It was a beautiful, amazing camp. Packing all down the space and seeing the room afterwards, I still couldn't believe it was the same room. It felt so much smaller, where it was this giant wide temple once we'd crafted and created it all, and all the greenery and wild was taken out, and it returned to this really average, mundane room, which is sad and disappointing. But it's over and it's finished. But now, what do we do? So I think now it's really about going out into the community and having those conversations. So talking to people about what is consent, what does it mean to you, what are your boundaries, having that conversation with yourself as well. So really thinking about times when you said yes to something because you felt pressured, or that it felt like the right answer at the time. Learning to say no, so being able to really be solid and present within your own spiritual authority and your own personal authority and boundaries, and really setting those boundaries, and knowing that you can have that ongoing conversation with yourself about yes and no, and the black and white space that is yes and no, and no grey area of maybe in between. So really just kind of clearly defining that within your life. And finding that reclaimed temple, finding your reclaimed relationship with your body, with yourself, with the environment around you, with your friends even, like deeper connections, deeper relationships, exploring, having conversations, and then also just looking at what fuels you, what is your passion, what is your drive. Like, this is all, for me, these are works and pieces of the Bower that I'm constantly engaging with. What is the passion and creativity in my life? What are my edges? What is my challenges? What are my desires that either I'm afraid to speak or afraid to release because someone might say yes to providing those? So explore, and if you are wanting to engage Bower work more, feel free to leave messages here. If you are within a community, perhaps you may know the Bower priestess that is in that local community, and reach out to them and have chats and conversations if they're open to that. Look at research on sacred sexuality and sensuality, and there's a lot of work about Eros and Aphrodite. Like Jay Merida's book Aphrodite's Magic would be a great place to start, and trying to think of some more, but I will once I do, I'll put some information in the little box below about some more links and books that you can go check out about sensuality, sexuality, sacredness, truth, consent, and desire. But yes, for that, now that is it. This is the wrap-up video. CloudCatcher 2017 is finished. The Reclaimed Temple has returned to a recreation room, but it lives on in all our hearts, and the Bower will be there again next year with amazing priestesses holding that space and a community to hold that Bower. But this is me signing off, Sheree, your Bower priestess for 2017, and for you, much love and blessings. Mwah.